Hello again, and welcome back to the Crimson YouTube channel. Today, we're going to be talking about passion projects. So if you've been following Crimson's other social media or YouTube shorts, then you may have seen the last minute summer guide series. I will be doing some long form companions to the shorter versions of those videos to give you guys a bit more detail to sort of help you figure out your summer plans. So today we're going to be focusing on passion projects. So in this video, I will talk about idea, design, implementation, and recording your work. And I'll be giving examples from my personal passion project, which is called We Are Change. So to start with, like, what exactly is a passion project? Because the word kind of gets thrown around a lot, especially with college admissions. I think like since 2021, it's been like kind of a popular term with students, like, oh, I'm going to start this passion project, or you have to start a passion project. And essentially what it is just a long-term project that you do based on something that you enjoy that oftentimes links to your college application, to your college major in a meaningful way. So that is a passion project. So for example, my passion project We Are Change was teaching, well, is a youth organization which focuses here in my country, Tanzania, teaching sustainability education to high schoolers in public schools, because I plan to major in public policy / education, and my goal is to become an educational policymaker or policy analyst or researcher for like educational policy. And so my focus has been sustainability education, because another passion I have is sustainability and, you know, the UN SDGs. So I had tried to link the two together through my project. And this is an example of a good passion project idea. So for your idea for your passion project, when you're still in the brainstorming phase, you want to focus on things that you genuinely care about. You know, even if something looks good on paper, if you don't care about it, it's not going to be practical, especially like further on, as we're going to see the design part and the implementation part. It's going to be really hard to carry through with a project that you don't actually care about. Obviously though, it does have to in some degree link to your major. If you're trying to do, like, if you're applying for like economics and your passion project is focused on like literature, right? And if you can't link that back in any meaningful way, that's going to be really difficult for you, because when you're applying, you know, you want to have a consistent, thorough narrative. And so having a passion project that links together your passions and your future careers is really integral to that. And this is sort of an in-between point of design and idea, but your project has to be something that is challenging enough to be impressive, but also feasible enough for you to actually do, right? Like, if my goal was like was teaching sustainability education, right? If I went too far on the challenging end, I could have said, oh, I want to teach in all of the schools in my city, right? That is way too much. But it was challenging enough to design a curriculum and to teach to 3 schools, which is what I ended up doing. So you want to strike a balance to like not do something so easy that it's like obviously like you didn't put that much effort into it, or something too hard that you'll end up having to give up in the end because you know, you can't do it. In your design, you also want to focus on making a measurable impact. Like, you want to design a project that has deliverables, has some kind of like evidence of your work, right? Like, if you're, let's say, teaching a certain community a certain thing, you want to like have proof of that, like, oh, I impacted this number of students in this area. You don't want to just like do things and not track your progress and not track your impact, because that makes it harder for you to actually use your project in the future, right? Because of course you are going to be doing community service to benefit your community and to, you know, to help others, but obviously if you want to use this project in future for your college applications or for your work, then you have to be able to track that. It has to be something that's like a measurable impact. So keep that in mind when you're designing your project. The kind of impact you can have is also something you have to consider when you're designing your project. Like, you can really sort of fall between two different ends of one spectrum, which is like when you have like a sort of shallow impact on a large number of people, or on the other hand, having a really, really deep, meaningful impact on a very small handful of people. And your project should be somewhere in the middle where it's easy to sometimes, you know, veer too far on either end, because if your project is like really, really big and conceptual, it might be hard to have that kind of like one-to-one meaningful impact. But if it's also something like that is very detailed and thorough, it might be hard to take that to like a large number of people. So you want to really balance those things out when you're designing your project. And ideally you should focus on impacting your direct community, because those are the people that you have like a closest connection to, the people who you understand the context of, rather than trying to go to like a community that's not even your own. That'll be much harder for you. So now that you've had the idea, you've designed your project, you want to get things done. It's time for implementation. So when you are doing your project, make sure that you do the absolute best that you can. It's really easy to just like on the first day come like ready, like you got this, you're ready to crush it, and then as time goes by to sort of lose motivation and to start dipping in your productivity. But you really have to be consistent with how you show up for your project, because when you are not working as hard as you could, it's noticeable and that's going to be visible, and your impact is going to decline, and that's really not going to be good for the people who you're serving and also for yourself. So another way to like keep motivated and to keep working hard on your project is to remember why you're serving. Don't just like do your project just for the sake of it, like it's just to tick a box. This is why the passion part of your passion project is so important, because if you care about what you're doing, for one, that's going to keep you going, and two, it's also going to make it easier to sort of like get over the more challenging aspects of your project. So remember that you're serving to help people to do the thing that you're passionate about, and that the fact that it's going to be useful for college applications is more of a side note than a main thing. It should not be the thing that you focus on. Don't design a project that universities want to see. Design a project that you actually care about. And finally, as you are doing your project, you need to record your work. Think about what social media platforms you're going to be focusing on, whether you have a website or not, because this is all dependent on your project, right? Different projects need different things. For We Are Change, we have Instagram and we have a website on Wix. And that works best for us because we have mostly photos and short videos that we do as reels. And then our website was when we were looking for recruits to join our team, and also just to generally track everything that we do, our mission and our future goals. So I will leave a link to the We Are Change stuff in the description, and you can check it out if you just want to see an example of a passion project. And other than that, good luck, and I hope this video was useful. See you guys in the next one. Bye.